Well, howdy, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, tonight, I'm not going to talk about anything you're expecting me to talk about. When I make these videos, I try to bring an original idea to the table, to the conversation. At the very least, I try to bring a concept or idea to people that may not have heard it otherwise. If I can't do that, I don't make a video. So, I'm not going to talk about the fact that I called Trump a fascist in the morning, and by evening he was giving a speech using the same tactics that Hitler used, although that's funny. I'm not going to fact check him, debunk what he said. Other people would do that. Now I want to talk about something a little bit more subtle. Something in his speech that I think most people missed and may not understand the importance of. At the end of it, he said, "I swore an oath to protect our country, and that is what I'll always do. So help me God." Man, that's great. That is a propagandist dream statement right there. Nationalism, patriotism, eternal vigilance, a religious duty, the desire to defend your nation. Man, Big Brother looking out for you. It's great. You are honor bound to do this. It's fantastic. Except he never took an oath to defend the country. Now, he took an oath to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. The very document he's been trying to undermine, the very document he's currently trying to do an end run around. And it's important. And I know right now there's people saying, "Bo, you're kind of splitting hairs here, country, Constitution, it's pretty much the same thing." It's not. When people come up with these oaths, they agonize over every word. The reason you swear an oath to the Constitution rather than the country is that any two-bit thug can get elected. Any two-bit thug can seize power. Do you still defend it? No. The reason you swear an oath to the Constitution is because the Constitution and the ideas in it are more important than the country. One day the United States will cease to be. Like all empires, it will fall. But the ideas in the Constitution must live on. See, we take it for granted today. We really do. We take it for granted. And it's hard to really grasp how revolutionary, pun kind of intended, that document is on two levels. The first is the idea of a government of the people. That was, just groundbreaking. It was laughable. It was laughable. The idea that it would even work. Self-governance, give me a break. But it's still here. And, there's probably people right now going, Bo, there was some pretty messed up stuff in the Constitution, right? And yeah, there was. There was. And the fact that institutions like slavery are gone, but the Constitution remains, is the other groundbreaking thing about it. It included the machinery for change. It included the machinery for change. We look at the Founding Fathers. They were not perfect men by any means. Thomas Jefferson, perfect example. Brilliant man, unquestionable. Also a slaver and a rapist. Slaver for certain, rapist like 99% certain. They weren't mythical people. They were flawed. And yeah, he didn't even free his own slaves. But, do you know what he said about slavery? He said it was a moral depravity and a hideous blot that would one day have to be undone. And they included the machinery for change. They included that in the Constitution. It's a living document. It is a living document. And, there are people who know me, who know my laughable ideal of what the world should be like one day. They're like, "I don't even understand how you can even care about the Constitution. In the world you want, it'd be kind of irrelevant." And I guess that's one way to look at it. I guess that is one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is that it's fulfilling it. It's fulfilling it. You know, it's said that when fascism comes to the United States, it'll be wrapped in a flag and carrying a cross. Certainly seems to be true. I believe that when freedom comes to the world, it'll originate here. It'll have that Made in USA stamp on it, because we have the machinery for change. And I'm not talking about spreading democracy with bombs. I'm talking about real freedom. Real freedom. You know, the idea of no government, of people behaving ethically without having a government gun pointed at them, it's laughable. People in competition with each other, peaceful competition, but with an eye towards the betterment of humanity as a whole. It's laughable. And that's fine. I don't think it'll happen in my lifetime. I'm okay with that. But I think that should be the goal. The goal should be an end to government. The goal should be for man to advance, for humanity to advance to a point where it's unnecessary. And yeah, that may seem like a slap in the face to this document that I've been talking about. But it's really not. The philosophical granddaddy of the American Revolution was a man named Thomas Paine. Thomas Paine wrote pamphlets. He's another brilliant man with some problems. One of my favorite quotes from him was that government, even in its best state, was but a necessary evil. Now, getting rid of government is not destroying the Constitution. It's carrying it to its logical conclusion. The day we, the people, can ensure tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty everywhere, it'll be a good day. Be a good day. But today, we don't live in that world. We live in a different world. If ever the time shall come when vain and aspiring men possess the highest seats in government, our country will stand in need of its experienced patriots. That was Samuel Adams. It's a very relevant quote for today. It's a battle cry for today, because it is today. Today is the time you got to start using your voice often to speak out against the injustices that you see, and speak out against the corruption in government that you see, and the undermining of that promise, of that document that possessed that machinery for change. And we got to do it. And we can do it with videos and Facebook posts now. Or one day our kids are going to have to do it with bullets and lamp posts. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good night.